could be worth as much as $300.
Really?
And your clothes just keep getting more damaged the more times you wash them. Downy protects fibers, doing more than detergent alone. See?
This one looks brand new.
Saves me money. I'm starting to like Downy.
Downy saves loads.
Funk legend Morris Day is live in studio Monday at 8 a.m. on the KTLA 5 Morning News.
Good morning. I'm Carlos Herrera live in South LA where 3 people are dead, 3 others hospitalized after a violent crash early this morning. What we've learned about the victims and how this all happened. That's next.
And it's the historic snapshot seen around the world. Wait until you see how former President Trump is now turning his mugshot into money for his re-election.
Plus, the quest for Nessie. Scientists from around the globe launch a new search for the legendary Loch Ness Monster, the largest in decades, how they hope to find the mythic monster.
And we are going to see sunshine today. Temperatures will be pretty comfortable, and a big warm-up is on the way. We're going to talk about that coming up.
And my night at Yamava Resort and Casino, and what a night it was. We're going to give the full recap, detailed, coming up.
Good morning. Welcome to the KTLA Weekend Morning News at 9 o'clock. I'm Lauren Lister.
And I'm Pedro Rivera. Thank you for joining us. I'm still feeling the burn from that roast.
Yeah,
that was
it
a good
pretty
one.
funny. I think he felt a little guilty. Casey always gets it the worst from me.
I do. I really do. I can take it.
You guys have that relationship, you know, sort of arch nemesis.
I heard that under your breath there, Pedro. Deservingly so. But yeah, I hear it all.
Deservingly so.
All right, outside, this is our Long Beach camera. We're seeing the fog still off in the distance, though, but sunshine already for the most part for most of us. Temperatures, we've warmed up from the 60s just in the last hour. It's 71 downtown right now, and for Fullerton, 74 in Ontario, and 60 degrees in Camarillo. And this is what we can expect for high temperatures this afternoon. 91 for El Monte, 97 in Santa Clarita, same for Van Nuys today, 98 for Riverside, and 111 in Palm Springs. Again, a big warm up on the way. We'll see a lot of triple digits in the 7 days, and we'll look at all of that coming up. Back to you.
Casey, thank you. We want to get to some breaking news. 3 people are dead after a violent car crash in South LA.
2 others are fighting for their lives. KTLA's Carlos Herrera joins us live from South LA's West Mountain neighborhood with the very latest. Carlos.
And we've learned that these victims are all women, all passengers in an Uber ride this morning. You can see the investigation is carrying on. We're waiting for the arrival of the coroner's office to remove the victim's body. You can see there the canopy set up right in the middle of the street and near the sidewalk. We're also hearing from LAPD that we're waiting for detectives to arrive here to carry out the investigation and continue speaking with witnesses. As we go into video, authorities telling us this morning that it happened shortly before 5:30 a.m. The white Mercedes was traveling northbound on Vermont Avenue at a high rate of speed, apparently tried to beat a red light and struck the black Honda you see there head on right at the intersection of Vermont and Century. The black Honda spun out of control. One female passenger was ejected several feet. She died at the scene. 2 other female passengers of that Uber ride had to be extracted from that black vehicle. They also died. The male Uber driver and another female passenger were taken to the hospital where they are in critical condition this morning, but they were conscious when they were transported earlier this morning. Now, we spoke with a witness who rushed to help the victims. He's still shaken this morning, but he tells us the Mercedes was speeding.
He was probably going more than 80, 85.
And missed the light? Tell me about that.
Yeah, he missed. He always tried to probably beat the light. He probably didn't see the driver, and that's when the whole collision. I was trying to help the 2 girls that were in the back. They weren't. I started like shaking them. I started, talking to them, waking them up. They weren't responding. They weren't breathing.
Definitely shaken this morning. Now, the driver, according to authorities of that Mercedes, was also taken to the hospital. The extent of his injuries, they are still unknown. We have confirmed, though, that he was in the car alone. Back at your live, you can see the investigation continuing. We've asked investigators, but it is still unknown if drugs or alcohol were a factor. In the meantime, as this continues, we expect this intersection to be closed for several more hours. We're live this morning in South LA. I'm Carlos Herrera. I'll send it back to you.
It is just tragic. Carlos, thank you. The FBI joining an investigation into an LAPD department gang unit whose members are accused of routinely failing to document their actions. This comes a week after LAPD internal affairs detectives searched the officers' lockers. LAPD Chief Michael Moore says the alleged misconduct first came to the department's attention after a traffic stop earlier this year, when a man reported he'd been pulled over and had his vehicle searched without cause or consent. LA Mayor Karen Bass says she supports the investigation.
Black civil rights leaders and a coalition of allies gathering today in the nation's capital to mark 60 years since the March on Washington. Let's take you live to Washington, D.C. right now. As you see, leaders are seeking to replicate the energy of the original march for civil rights and equality that drew 250,000 people in 1963. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. also delivered his iconic I Have a Dream speech during that gathering. Today's event is already underway with pre-programmed speeches and performances. You see some of them right here.
Today is National Dog Day, a day to celebrate man's best friend, woman's too. You're taking a live look at the Mama's Comfort Food and Cocktails restaurant. That's in Los Alamitos. That's where they're kicking off a month-long fundraiser for Tales That Teach, a nonprofit organization that educates young children about the kind of responsibility that caring pets requires. Today's kickoff event features a free book on pet care for kids in attendance and a pup costume contest. We love those. Mama's Comfort Food has also recently added a pup menu offering canine guests healthy dining options while their pet parents also enjoy delicious food.
More than 200 monster hunters in Scotland have descended for the hunt of the mysterious Loch Ness creature.
I liked when you said mythical, as it should be called. Reported sightings of something.
It's a big deal.
Can we take the iPad quickly? Day. It's a this is in the Coachella Valley. It's happening today. It's a special event. It's at a warehouse in Palm Desert. You can see the address on your screen, Alessandro Drive. It's because the Coachella Valley Riverside County Animal Services shelter, that's a mouthful I know, it's flooded. It was damaged by the storm and has not been open to the public since Monday. There's 260 animals who need homes. So they've rented this warehouse, taken the animals there today. So from 10 to 1, that's where this event is going on. Right now, the way that staff is accessing the shelter, they park a mile away and then they're shuttled in by these animal control officers because there's very limited access right now. So they are asking for help from the public. It's really an unfortunate situation from this storm. Yeah, they're trying to clean it up. Things aren't happening fast enough. And so this is what we are doing to try and help them this adoption event today. And if you don't get this information, reach out to me on social media, email me, and I'll send you that flyer. All right, outside we go to talk about our weather here in Southern California because it is nice already. We're going to see some mild temperatures today compared to what we will feel for the first part of the week. 71 in Burbank right now, also in Fullerton, 74 in Riverside, 76 in Lancaster, and 96 already in Palm Springs. And you can see, for the most part, we are warmer than we were this time yesterday. A degree cooler, though, downtown. Probably don't notice much of a difference. As far as air quality,